Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, perhaps the evening, depending what time you're watching this video. My name is Erica. I'm with UMBC Recreation, and today I'll be teaching Vinyasa Yoga. If this is your first time taking a Vinyasa class, we often tie the breath in with the movement. That's usually an emphasis in the class, breath with the movement. And as we get into the flow, you'll notice there's sort of a repetitiveness to the postures that we take. Before we get started, there's a few things. First, I want to remind everyone to always listen to your body. Take modifications if you need, especially if you're taking this class in the morning at 8 a.m. when it's aired. Don't let your ego get in the way of your practice. You may notice that your body feels a little more tense in the morning. You might have to modify a little bit more than you're used to. Honor your body in your practice today, whatever time and whatever space that you're in. And other than that, before you start any exercise regimen, you should always check with a doctor, especially if you have any existing medical conditions. So to start, we're going to stand up at the top of our mat with our feet hips-width distance apart, facing the front of our mat. And just put a little bit of movement in your body, maybe bend the knees, wiggle the arms, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, we're just sort of releasing the anxieties that you maybe have about our class or about the day, and then find some stillness. Ground your feet onto the mat. Tuck your tailbone under so you send it long to the floor. Find length up through the spine, out through the crown of your head. Relax the shoulders down the back. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, deep breath in and out. One more, breath in and breath out. Take your left hand over to your right shoulder. Press down on the shoulder and let your head fall to the opposite side. Getting a nice stretch in the neck to start our warm-up for today. Breathe here. Lift the head through center and switch sides, right hand to left shoulder. Just give a little bit of pressure. And release arms down by your sides. Lift left arm up to the ceiling. Reach through the fingertips. Press firmly through the left foot. With our right hand, imagine you're carrying a bucket of water. So you're giving some length to that arm down to the floor. And we'll add a side bend over to the right. Lift the chin from the chest. Keep the belly active, slightly drawing in. And a firm pressure down through the left foot. Slowly rise up and lower the arm down by your side. Right arm up to the ceiling. Reach through those fingertips. Switch that heavy bucket of water into the left hand and take a side bend over to the left. Pressing down through the right foot now. Breathing into the chest. Slowly rise up and lower the arm down by your side. Give me a deep breath in through the nose, lift the arms overhead. Exhale out of the mouth, lower the hands directly in front of you and give yourself a hug. Arms wrap around the body, chin drops to the chest. Take a few breaths here, opening the back side of the shoulders. Maybe feeling a stretch down the back side of the neck. Keep the tailbone long towards the floor. Take note of which arm is on the bottom because we're going to switch sides in just a second. Release arms down by your side, standing nice and tall. Deep breath in through the nose, arms overhead. Exhaling to lower the arms and then giving yourself a hug. Opposite arm on the bottom this time, chin to chest. Release arms down by your sides. Again, inhale, arms up. This time as we exhale, we bend the elbows and open through the chest. And lower arms down by our sides. Try not to draw the low back into the stretch. Let all the opening come from the upper chest. Keep the belly active, belly button back towards the spine. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, elbows bend into goddess, arms opening through the chest. And release arms down by your sides. One more time, deep breath in through the nose. Slow breath out through the mouth, bending the elbows. Arms down by your sides. Place your hands on your hips and heel toe your feet apart until they're off of the mat, turning the toes away from one another. Gently bend the knees, stacking them over the ankles, sending hips down towards the floor into goddess. And rise back up to standing. Again, bending the knees, right over ankles, and rise to standing. Last time, just opening up those hips. We've got some hip work today. Knees over ankles, and rise to standing. Heel toe the feet back to the center of the mat. Another deep breath in through the nose, lifting arms overhead. Exhale out the mouth into forward fold. Bring the hands together, down through heart center. Bend the knees and drop the belly to the thighs. Head and arms hang heavy. And remember what I said at the beginning of class? Maybe you need to modify a little bit more. You want belly touching thighs. So bend the knees to make that happen if you need to. Send the weight forward to the toes, but don't let the heels lift off the mat. Keep low belly drawing in. Keep hips reaching high towards the ceiling. Nice active legs. Let the head hang heavy. Shake it a few times, yes and no. One vertebrae at a time will rise back up to a standing position. Take your time. Leave your chin tucked to your chest until you make it all the way up to standing. One more time. Deep breath in through the nose, arms overhead. Exhale to forward fold, hands together, belly to knees. Head hangs heavy. Take a few deep breaths here. Rise to half lift, flattening the back, bringing hands to shins. And we'll step back into a plank position. Bend the knees so that you can plant your fingertips to the floor. Step back to plank and plant your palms flat to the mat. Lower the knees to tabletop. Knees stacked under hips and wrists stacked under shoulders. Lift up to the fingertips once again and round the spine into cat pose, tucking your chin to your chest. Then lifting and arching the spine up to cow, gazing up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you find cat, rounding the spine. Inhale as you lift and arch to cow. One more time. Exhale, move with the breath, draw the belly in. Inhale to cow, breathing in as you gaze up and relax back to a neutral tabletop. Stay up on the fingertips for now. Extend your right leg behind you, pointing through the toes, keeping heel in line with hip. Give me a crunch, drawing right knee to chest, rounding the spine, drawing the belly in, lifting the knee as high as you can, and stepping it into a lunge, ankle below the knee. If you can't place your foot there without assistance, manually grab your foot and put it into alignment. Draw the breath in through your nose and lift both arms overhead. Exhale out the mouth, fingertips to floor. Next breath in, right arm lifts to the ceiling, twisting from the belly. Exhale, fingertips to floor. Extend your right leg long behind you, point through the toes, keep that leg active, and return to tabletop, knee to mat. Extend the left leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me a crunch, drawing knee to chest, rounding the spine, lifting the belly up, lifting the knee, and get your foot into lunge, however you need to do so. Draw the breath in through the nose, lift both arms overhead, deep breath in, nice slow movement. Exhale, fingertips to floor. Inhale, left arm lifts to ceiling. Exhale, fingertips to floor. Extend left leg behind you, point through the toes, and return to tabletop. Settle into child's pose, send your hips all the way back to the heels. Toes are touching, but knees are separate. Extend your arms down the length of your mat and rest your forehead to mat. We'll take a short rest here to finish our warm-up. Giving our body some time to absorb what we just did. Prepare for a little bit more movement. We'll take child's pose several times during this class, so if this pose is uncomfortable, maybe in your hips or your knees, try coming back to tabletop and settling into puppy pose instead, dropping elbows to mat underneath the shoulders and letting the head hang. So it's up to you whether you take puppy or child's as your rest pose. Take one last deep breath here. And rise back to tabletop. Preparing for our first down dog, go ahead and tuck the toes onto the mat. Spread your fingers nice and wide and broaden the shoulders across the back side of the body. If this is your first time, we're going to take it in sections so you can move with me. If you're familiar, go ahead and lift into down dog now. For first timers, we're going to start by lifting the knees off the mat. Shift the weight into the whole entirety of the hand, not just the base of the palm, but to the top of the palm and out through the fingers as well. Start to send the hips up towards the ceiling, keeping the knees bent. I'll press into my hands and bring my belly back to my thighs. So beginners are going to start here, gazing down towards your toes. Keep the low belly drawing in, and we'll breathe here. If you're in the full extension, you're pressing heels down towards the floor. Make sure the spine stays long and you don't round the spine. Another breath or two here. Look forward and step your right foot into lunge. Again, placing it there if you need to. Step up to half lift, flattening the back, hands to shins. Lower to folds, belly to thighs, head hangs heavy. And one vertebrae at a time, we'll rise up to a standing position. We're going to move right into some modified sun salutations. Lift the arms overhead, gaze up to the ceiling. Lower to folds, belly to thighs. Rise, half lift, flatten your back. Step into plank. And drop the knees to tabletop. Lean forward, shoulders past the wrists, and then bend the elbows into a 90-degree angle, hovering for a second before bringing your chest and your hips down to the mat. Elbows stay pointing up towards the ceiling and legs together. Without pressing into the hands, draw the belly in and lift the chest off the mat to baby cobra, shoulders wrapped behind the heart. Now press into the hands into child's pose, hips to heels. Warrior puppy variation, whichever you prefer. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly rise back to tabletop and prepare for down dog. Tuck toes onto the mat. Lift the knees up, lift the hips up, and belly back towards the thighs. If you're a first timer, keep those knees bent. If you like to try to amp it up a bit, you can try pressing one heel down to the floor and then switching and pressing the other down towards the floor. Switching back and forth, feeling that stretch through the back side of the body. Look forward and step your left foot up to lunge. Step up to half lift, flatten the back. Lower to folds, belly to thighs. And one vertebrae at a time, rise to standing. We're going to take that 2 more times. Slowly lift the arms overhead, gaze up to ceiling. Lower to folds, belly to thighs. Rise half lift, flatten your back, and step into plank. Drop the knees to tabletop. Lean forward, bend the elbows 90 degrees, pause here, and lower all the way down. Elbows up to ceiling, lift the chest to baby cobra, and press to child's, hips to heels. Slowly rise to a tabletop position and lift your hips to down dog, hips up to ceiling. Belly back to thighs. Check with your hands. Make sure you're not pressing solely to the base of the palm. Distribute that weight. Send some into the top of the palm as well. Press into the fingers. Nice deep breaths. No staggered breathing in our down dogs. Look forward and step your right foot up to lunge. Step up to half lift, flattening the back, and lower to folds, belly to thighs. Rise to standing, 1 vertebrae at a time. This last time through, let's tie the movement in with our breath. Inhale to lift the arms overhead. Exhale to find your fold. Inhale, half lift, flatten the back. Exhale as you step back into plank and drop the knees to tabletop. Take a breath in here. Exhale to lean forward and find the belly. Inhale to lift the chest. And exhale to child's, hips to heels. No rest here. We're rising right back to tabletop as we're picking up our heart rate. And find the down dog, hips up to ceiling. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Last time, deep breath in, deep breath out. Look forward and step your left foot up to lunge. Inhale as you step up to half lift. Exhale as you lower to fold. Draw the inhale out if you can as you rise up to standing. And exhale once you make it to the top. Roll those shoulders back, up to the shoulders or up to the ears and down the back. Nice big shoulder rolls. And find some stillness before you switch directions. Stand nice and tall at the top of your mat, feet hips width distance apart. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. We're going to step our right foot right back into a lunge position. So step your right foot back until you're on the ball of the foot. Left knee stays stacked over left ankle. We're up on the tips of our fingers, maybe just our pointer and our middle. Our belly's drawing in, we're looking forward. If you need some ease, the right knee can bend just a bit. Bring your hands to your thighs and extend arms overhead. Left knee stays stacked over the ankle. Deep breath into the chest. Open into warrior two. Turn to face the right side of your mat. Right heel rotates down and makes contact with the floor. Left knee stays stacked over the ankle. Arms are at shoulder height. Hips and shoulders are facing the long edge of your mat. Your head is facing your left hand. Holding here. I promised some hip work, so if you want to deepen that stretch in the left hip, try lifting up to the tippy toes, sending the hips down, keeping knee over ankle. The outer edge of the right foot stays pressed firmly to the floor. If you're up on the tippy toes, lower the heel to the mat now, and everyone straighten the forward leg. Lower your hands down by your sides and turn left foot so they're facing the long edge of the mat. Heels in line and turn the toes out away from each other now. Lift the arms overhead. Draw the breath in through the nose. As you exhale out the mouth, bend the knees into goddess, stacking them over the ankles. Bend the arms into goddess arms, opening the chest. Inhale to rise to standing, arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows. Send those hips down to the floor. Last time, breathe in, stretch up. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows. We're lengthening the spines and opening our hips. Rise back to standing last time and lower your arms down by your sides. Left foot turns back towards the front of the mat. Windmill those arms, take them up overhead, back into lunge. Right heel lifts off the mat and fingertips come down to the floor. Step back into a plank position and lower the knees to tabletop. Lean forward, bending the elbows 90 degrees, our chaturanga, and bring the chest and hips down to floor. Lift the chest, baby cobra. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale to child's, hips to heels. A short rest period here, maybe 7 to 10 seconds or so. Let your forehead fall to the mat. Take note of how you feel in your body. There are no wrong answers. Notice what thoughts are in your mind. Slowly rise back to tabletop. Take a breath in and exhale into downward dog, hips up towards the ceiling. Remember, knees bent for a little bit of ease or for beginners. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Step your right foot up to lunge. Step up to half lift, flatten the back. Lower to folds, belly to thighs. And rise to standing nice and slow. Take your time. Feel each stretch through the parts of your spine. And stand nice and tall at the top of your mat. Deep breath in, arms up. Exhale to folds, belly to thighs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale as you step your left foot back into lunge. Right knee over ankle. Chest is forward, gazing forward. Bring your hands to your thighs and extend the arms overhead into Anjaneyasana. Remember, if you need some ease, that back leg, knee can bend just a bit. Deep breath into the chest. Open into warrior two, facing the left side of the mat. Left heel comes down, right knee over the ankle. Standing nice and tall towards the ceiling, not reaching forward or leaning back. Lifting up to the tippy toes if you tried that option on the other side. If you're on the tippy toes, bring the heel down to the mat. Everyone straighten the leg and lower arms down by your sides. Turn the right foot to face the long edge of your mat. Heels in line and toes turn away from one another. Bring the arms overhead. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. As we exhale, we bend the knees and bend the elbows. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale to bend. Press firmly into all four corners of your feet. Inhale to stretch up, last time. Exhale to bend. Draw the breath in to straighten up and lower hands down by your sides. Right foot turns forward. Bring those arms up and over to windmill back into lunge. Left heel comes off the mat. And step into plank. Drop knees to tabletop. Lean forward for chaturanga, elbows bend, chest and hips come down. Breathe in for baby cobra, lift the chest, and exhale to child's. Another short rest period here. Bring your attention back to your breath and back to your thoughts. Slowly rise to tabletop. And let's find our down dog. Last down dog of the class. Keep it nice and strong. Give me a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Last time, deepest breath in. Deep breath out. Look forward and step your left foot up to lunge. Step up to half lift. Lower to fold, belly to thighs. As you inhale, we rise up to standing, nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Nice deep breath in through the nose, arms overhead. Exhale, hands together and down through heart center. We'll take a quick moment of stillness here as we slow down our movement and slow down our breath. Gently close the eyes, or if you prefer, just tilt your head down to look towards the floor. Notice the rate of your heart. Lower your arms down by your sides. We're going to move into some balancing poses. We're going to take standing head to knee today. It's not as daunting as it may sound. We're going to start with our right leg as our standing leg. So we're going to shift all the weight into the right foot and leg. Spread the toes nice and wide before planting them down to the floor. Tiny micro bend in the knee and turn on that quad, so you should feel the muscles around your knee lift. We're going to bend the left knee and draw it in towards the chest, about in line with the hip, and we're going to hold on at the knee, keeping the foot flexed. If this is difficult for you to hold your balance here, I want you to focus on just lowering the foot down to the mat as slowly as you can and lifting it back up as slow as controlled as you can, drawing the belly in. So you can work here, or you're holding the knee nice and steady. Opening through the chest. If you want to challenge, take this basket you made with your hands, your interlaced fingers, and bring it to the ball of the foot. Keep finding a lift and drawing the belly in. If you're familiar with the full expression of standing head to knee and you want to extend the leg, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, we're working here. Strengthening that standing leg, squeezing that quad and glute, not holding the breath. If hand is on the ball of the foot, bring it back to the knee. Lift the chest, stand tall, and we'll all lower our foot down to the floor. Let's switch sides. We're going to strengthen that left leg as well. Same thing, spread those toes wide, tiny micro bend, turn on your quad and your glute. Slowly bend the right knee, drawing it in towards the chest, and take a hold, standing steady here, or Slowly lowering the toes back down to the mat and lifting at your own pace. Steady the breath. If you took the pose further on the opposite side, do the same here, starting with the hand on the ball of the foot. Extending the leg if you did so on the opposite side. Bring attention to your breath. Hands on the ball of the foot. Bring it back to the knee. Lift the chest, stand tall, and we'll all lower our foot down towards the floor. Bend those knees, give those standing legs a break. Make sure you're standing at the top of your mat. And close your eyes or tilt your head down towards the floor. Deep breath in through the nose to lift the arms overhead. Exhale, hands together, down through heart center and down by your sides. 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands together, down at your sides. Last time, deep breath in. Exhale to forward fold this time, bringing belly down towards the thighs. And we'll take ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows. Bringing awareness to how close our belly is to our thighs, bending those knees if we need to adjust. Maybe rocking gently side to side. Release your grip and rise to half lift. Step back into a plank position. We're going to hold this plank for about 10 seconds. Make sure heels are in line with hips, are in line with shoulders. And we're holding here, just creating some strength in the body, looking to tire our bodies out so we can find some peace in our final resting period. Let's go for an extra 5 seconds. You guys got it. Focus on your breath. Slowly, we're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Keep elbows close to the body. Place your arms along your sides, palms face up. Bring toes together, let heels fall out. And turn your head to one side so you can rest on your cheek. We'll take a short rest here. As you exhale, relax your body on towards the floor. Just let go. Gently turn your head to the opposite side. Bring your chin to the mat. Place your hands back under your shoulders. Press yourself to child's, hips to heels. Rounded child's this time, so arms along the sides of the body, palms face up, and forehead to mat. Let the shoulders roll down towards the floor. Instead of lengthening our spines with the arms extended forward, now we're getting a roundness in the spine. Slowly rise up to seated and swing your legs in front of you so they're down the length of your mat. Keep the feet flexed, lift arms overhead, drop chin to chest, and start to round the spine into rounded back stretch, placing hands at the knees, elbows pointing out to the sides like elephant ears. Relax your shoulders down the back. Pose is a great spinal stretch. It's completely normal to feel a lot of sensation here. Our bodies tend to hold a lot of stress and tension around the muscles in the spine, in the back of the neck. Just try to take deep breaths and focus on bringing the breath to the space you feel the most sensation. Conscious breathing goes a long way to relax muscles and relieve stress. One vertebrae at a time, straighten the spine upright. Place your hands on either sides of your hips into staff pose, lengthening the spine towards the ceiling, and relax to neutral. Bend your right knee, placing your foot on the mat. Before we take a spinal twist, if you think you'd be interested in a little more opening in the outside of the hip, you can cross the right foot over to the other side of the leg. If you notice your right hip lifts off the mat when you do that, it's not safe. You should uncross the foot. Whichever position that you're in, left arm wraps onto the bent knee. We belly twist towards the back of the mat, placing our fingertips down directly behind us and gazing to the back of the room. Slowly unwind on your exhale and straighten the leg down the mat. Left knee bends. If you cross the leg over on the opposite side, do the same here. We want to keep our sides nice and even. Right arm holds on this time, twist from the belly, place the fingertips down and gaze to the back of the room. Exhale to unwind and return to center, straightening your leg down the mat. Shimmy so that you're sitting in the center of your mat if you're not already there. Bend both knees and place your feet to the floor. Hands come to the back of the thighs. One vertebrae at a time, we'll round our spine until we're flat on our back against the mat. From here, straighten your legs onto the floor. Bend your right knee, drawing it in towards the chest. Interlace the fingers and hold below the knee, gently pulling the thigh closer to the body. Feet are flexed. If you feel any discomfort on your knee here for any reason, you can hold onto the back of the thigh instead. Brings a little bit of ease to the knee. We've done a lot of hip openers today, but if you want to continue opening the hips, you can draw the right knee out towards the right armpit, still keeping the thigh nice and close to the body. Gently release and return the leg to the mat. Left knee draws in, holding at the knee or on the back of the thigh. Feet are flexed. If you want to bring the hip into the equation, draw the knee out towards left armpit. And release leg onto the mat. Draw both knees in now, keeping feet side by side. Again, holding below the knees or on the back of the thighs, whatever feels most comfortable. And gently find a rock side to side, giving a little massage to the muscles in the back side of the body. As our knees to chest massage our internal organs. And then find some stillness. Place your arms on the floor out at shoulder height, palms face up. Let the knees fall to the right into recline spinal twist. Line the knees up with the hips and gently turn your head to the left. Slowly draw the knees back to center. Let them fall over to the left and head turns to the right. Draw the knees back to center, and we'll wrap our arms around the legs one last time. Take a deep breath in, lift your head to meet your knees. We'll hold the breath here. As we exhale out through the mouth, we'll return to lay flat on the mat, spreading our legs and our arms nice and wide, taking up space, palms face up. Let the toes fall out. And close your eyes into final resting pose. Here we try to find comfort in our stillness for 2 to 3 minutes. We let our body absorb the benefits of the class. And we give some time to focus on our thoughts. The easiest way to find comfort in your stillness is to follow the pattern of your breath. Following every natural rise and fall of your chest. Imagining that every exhale moves you deeper into relaxation. Begin to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Welcome movement back into your body. Then gently roll over to the right side of your body. Take a moment of stillness on your side. You can use your arm as a pillow to support your head. Keeping your eyes closed or your gaze low to the floor, gently press yourself up into a comfortable seated position. As always, we'll end class with 3 cleansing breaths together as one. That's breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Today we'll take a 4-count breath, breathing in for a count of 4, then exhaling for a count of 4. If after the first round of breath you think you can extend that breath, I want you to draw it out for a count of 5 instead. So we'll all start on an exhale, drawing all the breath you have out of the body. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breath in, 2, 3, 4. Breath out, 2, 3, 4. Last time in, 2, 3, 4, and last time out, 2, 3, 4. Take a second to give thanks to your body, for your mind, for your patience, for your body, for its resilience. And I would like to thank you for letting me lead you through this practice today. There's a light within me that honors the light within you. Thanks for practicing and joining for me. I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed teaching it. If you liked this style, I teach a class every Monday and Wednesday. I teach core yoga at 8 as well as Vinyasa at 8 a.m. that is. I hope to see you guys next time. Thanks so much.